Hey, welcome to the Get Inspired Show. If you're searching for purpose in life, wanting to overcome fears that hold you back, and you're just ready to take off the masks that hide your greatness, then this podcast is for you. We're sharing real stories from real people from all around the world who have overcome adversity and life circumstances to inspire you to take action in your life and business. So sit back and get ready to get inspired.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode on the Get Inspired Show. I'm your host, Whitley Jane, and I'm bringing you real stories by real people from all around the world to inspire you to take action in your life and business. Today, I want to bring a topic to light that I know can resonate with almost every single one of you. And that topic is something that is really on our minds quite often. And even if you don't quite realize it, it is something that stems in the back of our minds on a day-to-day basis that sort of goes along with us in our daily routines until we actually can really sit down and address it. It's that one thing that I know for me has held me back from really pursuing my goals and my dreams. I know it's that one thing that's really held me back from stepping into my truest, authentic self. And I know it's that one thing that's really made me care about the opinions and thoughts of others, and really spend too much time and energy on worrying about what other people thought of me. And it's just that one thing that has really held power over me. And today, my friends, I want to talk about this because I think it's such an important topic. I think that it is truly the foundation to the road of success, the road of happiness, the road to peace and fulfillment. And so I am feeling extra called to talk about this one topic today and to give you guys a little bit of insight on my own personal experiences with this, and also be able to bring awareness for all of you, as well as some action steps to move you forward toward your goals and your dreams. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So today I'm going to be talking about you. That's right. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about who you are as a person today. And I want to talk about who is the person that you want to become. Everything that we desire, everything that we want in our lives, it really starts within ourselves. And to really understand what it is that we desire and to know the type of life that we want to build for ourselves, we really need to understand who we are as a person and the person that we need to become in order to attract and to obtain those things that we want in our lives. And so let me just kind of back it up a little bit here, because I want to shed light on the insights of where we come from as a whole. You know, we're born into this life, and as children, we are our most authentic selves. Now, why is that? Why is it that as children we have, none of these worries? We don't have these fears. We don't have these self-doubts that we have as adults. When we're children, we're almost at our purest form. And at some point during our upbringing, our adolescent years, and into our adulthood, we have lost ourselves. We have chosen to disregard our authentic selves. And now, why is that? Why is it that so many of us are walking through life wearing these masks, wearing all of these different types of masks that hide who we truly are at our core? My belief is that we have been programmed and conditioned we've been preconditioned by our parents, our teachers, our family, our environment, society. We have been programmed to behave a certain way, to follow a certain set of rules. We have been programmed to take on the former beliefs, opinions, and ideas of other people. And through that, we've been confined in this box that is accepted by society. Because for a lot of us, we've learned at an early age that when we kind of veer off of the beaten path, then we're looked at as weird, or we're looked at as not normal or bad because we don't fit inside that box of what society deems as the right way of being or the normal way of being. And so I believe that we have lost our sense of identity. And that, again, comes from just outer influences. People, places, experiences, environment have all played a huge contributing factor on how and who we've become over time. And so year after year, bit by bit, we have been stripped of our authentic self. And when we're not in alignment with our authentic selves, how can we truly be able to have that clarity on what we want, the life that we really, really want? And how can we actually start taking action to getting the life that we want when we're not acting in alignment with that? And so, my friends, I really want to talk about how do we figure out who we are today? And how do we figure out what we truly want in this world? What we truly want to experience in this life? And then how do we lay out and get crystal clear on who we want to be? Because I know that when we have a clear idea on that person we want to be, then it becomes easier on what sort of action, what we need to do in order to be that person. And I know the biggest thing here is really about awareness, is really bringing light to understanding ourselves and understanding where we want to be. For such a long time, I felt completely lost. I felt as though there was an internal battle within myself that was battling back and forth between my authentic self and the other self, who was just a false identity of who I am. But that false identity fit inside the box of society. And for years, I battled with those, both of those parts within me. And it wasn't until I truly decided and understood that I am the author of my story. I get to create my reality. I get to choose and decide the type of life that I want to experience while I'm here. And it wasn't until I fully grasped that concept that I felt like I was in control enough to be able to make choices. And so I had to get really, really clear on who I was. What was the character that I was playing? What was that character like? What did she like? What did she dislike? What did she love to do? What were her strengths? What were her weaknesses? Who was she as a person toward others? What kind of mother was she? What kind of friend was she? And so I had to get clear on who that person was. And then I had to get very, very clear on who the person I wanted to become to fit what I wanted to experience. And so if I could just give you an example of someone who was me back years ago when I had all of these goals set out for myself to experience a better way of being. I realized that the person I was being at that time didn't quite match the person who accomplished those goals that I wanted. And so that meant I needed to strip away some old habits. I needed to strip away some old thoughts and beliefs that I had adapted throughout my life. And I really needed to take on the new character that matched the person who achieved those goals. So for example, I really wanted to start a business. I wanted to start a business because I desired being my own boss, and I wanted to have that freedom, that flexibility, and to just be me. But one thing that I realized was every time I talked about starting a business, I would just talk about it. I wasn't quite taking action toward starting a business. And what I realize now is that that person who desired starting a business did not match the person who ran a business. And so I had to bring awareness to myself and really understand who is that person that I need to become, who is that person who is fearless enough to start the business, who is disciplined enough to grow the business, who is motivated enough to get up early, stay up late, learn as much as I possibly could, do the work that had to be done in order to grow that business. And so what I found was I had to really get clear on the differences between who I was then and who I needed to become. And once I got clear on that, I was able to start to move toward that person. I was able to start to take on new, better habits that served the person who I wanted to become. Is this making sense for you guys? I hope it's making sense for you. But yes, so moving forward to understanding that question, who do you want to be? I think that's one of the most important questions that you can ask yourself is this. And I want you to honestly answer this to yourself right now. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be as a parent? Who do you want to be as a friend? Who do you want to be in the area of your health? Who do you want to be in the area of your finances? Who do you want to be in your work or your business? Who do you want to be in your social life? This is such an important question that a lot of us don't ask ourselves. It's not even something that even comes to mind naturally, right? But I can promise you this. When you sit down and you get so crystal clear on answering this question in every area of your life, then you can really start to understand what it is that you want out of your life. And then it becomes clearer on the path to getting there. You see, most of us go through our day-to-day not quite asking ourselves those deeper why questions. We sort of just run and operate on autopilot. You ever get in your car in the morning, you're driving to work, and you're taking all the turns, you're turning left, you're turning right, you're going through the same intersection, and then before you know it, you're parked in that same parking spot, at your job site, and you ever just think, wow, I got here and I got here so fast and I didn't even really have to think about it. I didn't really have to put that like actual conscious thought into like getting here. You just sort of got there on autopilot. That's how most of us are operating our lives every single day, on autopilot. And I will promise you this, my friends, the moment that you can bring awareness to your life, the moment that you start asking yourselves these questions, these important questions, like who do you want to be? You will break that cycle of being on autopilot. You will start to get to know yourself on a deeper level. You will start to understand what your true desires are, what you really want, and how you really want to live this life. And when you can get clear on that, you begin taking action. You begin to start to live in a different way. You start to wake up to your authentic self. You begin to take your power back. And you begin to be the driver in your vehicle, as opposed to that co-pilot on autopilot. So let me give you an exercise, because I'm not only, I know that I love to inspire people and I love to, motivate others, but I also understand the power of action, taking action. And so I'm not just here to inspire you guys, but I'm also here to give you action steps so that you can take these action steps in to begin applying it to your own life. So today, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take 10 minutes out of your day today and go to a quiet place, wherever that place is for you. Take out a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to pretend you are an author, okay? And you are writing a masterpiece. But first, I want you to write down who you are today. What kind of person are you right now? Who are you in the area of your home life, your family life? Who are you in the area of your health, your money, your job, your career, your business? I want you to answer these things. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your talents? What are your gifts? What do you like? What do you dislike? And once you're done answering all of that, I then want you to begin writing the character, the main character, which is you. And I want you to write this character in the form of who you want to be. Think of like, if you could write the bestest, like if you can write the best character in your book, and that main character is you, I want you to write in that sense. Now, who is the best you in the area of your family and your home life? Who is the best you in the area of your money, your finances, your health, your personal, your social? Begin writing out the character in detail of the best person you can possibly think of that matches with who you want to be. Okay? That is all. It seems so simple, but I promise you, after you do this exercise, you're going to begin to see some variations. You're gonna get some aha moments. You're definitely gonna get clarity, and you might even see what you really want. But the most powerful thing is you're gonna begin to see a difference between who you are and who you want to be. And from there, you can start to see where you need to make changes. You can start to see where you can begin taking action on where you need to take that action. Okay, so now you're thinking, okay, Whitley, I'm going to do this exercise and I'm going to see who the person I am today and then the person who I want to be tomorrow. But what am I really getting out of this? So the next thing that I want you to do after you've done this exercise, I want you to take a look at this sheet of paper every morning when you wake up. Maybe it's before you go to bed, but at least every day for the next week, I want you to pull this piece of paper out, and I want you to read the section of where you write who you want to be. And I want you to revisit every single area that you've written out. And you see, the thing is, the more that you read this, the more that you are bringing awareness to this, the more you will bring awareness to your everyday life. So as I was talking about running on autopilot, when you understand who you want to be, when you understand the changes that you want to make in your life, you're more consciously aware of these changes. And so if I can just give you an example, I know that as a mother, it takes a lot of patience to be a parent. There you have your moments. And I realized that I was getting, impatient with my kids at times, and I didn't like it. And when I did this exercise, in one of my areas of in my family, in my home life, I wanted to be a more patient mother. And so every day when I would visit this exercise that I did, I'm a patient mother. So the next time that my little toddler would, throw a crazy tantrum on the living room floor because he couldn't get a piece of candy, I would, naturally my instinct would be to scold him or to just lose patience. But because of this exercise and because it was fresh in my mind, I was visiting every day, I was able to stop myself. I was able to put pause on that autopilot and think to myself, this isn't the person you want to be. You don't want to be that person who is losing your cool because your toddler is throwing a tantrum. No, that's not the person you want to be. You want to be that person who is patient with your kids no matter what. You want to be that patient mother. And so over time, I was able to ingrain new, healthier ways of being that serve the person I wanted to be. So that's just an example of one thing that was in that exercise for myself, which went a long way. And so I've applied this in many different areas in my life. And what I can say is that through repetition, you begin to build a newer way of being. So I encourage you to sit down, do this exercise, and then revisit this exercise daily for at least 1 week and just see how you feel. And, I want to know as well, because, when I'm sharing these things with people, I love to hear feedback. I love to hear what their experience was like when they actually take these exercises and put them to work, put them to action. So let me know. You can reach out to me and let me know how you made out with this exercise. But that is basically it for today, guys. Again, I was just feeling super called to do an episode on this topic, and so I really, really know that this can help anyone out there who is feeling unclear and unstuck and feeling like they're just not truly living their authentic self. So with that, guys, I hope everybody has an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know that I've been getting a lot of messages and DMs on my social media platforms about the podcast, and I just want to say thank you so much for the love and support. And if you enjoy this episode, or if you've been listening to the podcast and you're really enjoying it, please leave me a review and share with your friends as well. All of the support really, is appreciated, and I'm truly grateful for it. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next week. Bye for now.